Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks,
And this is Ito.
and we are the Carbonation Conversation, reviewing the last king of Tulsa, Tulsa King.
Tulsa King.
Sorry, we haven't done dead Tulsa in a while. Sorry, I was like the last king
Tulsa King.
of Scotland. And if you like what you hear, you like what we do, don't ever hesitate to ring that bell, subscribe, like, and as we slowly, and we mean slowly, start to transition into the YouTube, definitely hit us up anytime you want to give us some happy new beers.
By the way, because Melvin forgot to mention, this is episode 2.
I said episode 1?
You didn't say any episode.
Oh.
You just remember the damn name of the show.
Oh, okay. Yes.
The center of the universe.
Yes, episode 2. and again, but it is good to be back watching this show. I will admit, I did watch the first episode again. You know, we did finish wrapping up Last of Us, and the only reason the finale isn't out is we were having some audio issues, and we're trying to figure out if it's worth putting out or not. So stay tuned for that, because we just may have to redo that review, and if we have to redo that review, you're probably going to get some Tulsa episodes before that happens.
See.
But how'd you feel about episode 2, sir?
It was good. It was as good as episode 1, but it was good.
Yeah. It's so funny. I'm just going to sit up here and say it now as my phone went off. I am just all over the place. Let me silence that. I think it's I love Sylvester Stallone. I will say that. I absolutely love him. He's one of my favorite old school actors. And the more I watch this show, the more I say in my head, yep, he could have been the old man on FX. He could have did the Jeff Bridges, and Jeff Bridges could have did this too. I think it would have been actually more hilarious if they would have swapped. You don't think Jeff Bridges could have been an old school guy?
Old Italian, no.
I think
cowboy type.
I think Jeff Bridges could have pulled it off.
I don't think so.
But okay, let's
First
start.
Of all,
Happy New Beer. I do think Jeff Bridges could have pulled it off.
Nah.
Ooh, no overflow today. Okay. So the I'm sorry. So the episode opens up with we have Dwight on the computer, and at first I didn't actually know what he was doing here. I mean, I knew he was looking up somebody, and I actually thought, I'm like, damn, is he looking up old girl Stacy? That's who I thought he was looking up at first.
No,
I didn't really see the name on the computer.
Yeah.
But he's looking up something
Looking for his daughter.
Yes, and before he can actually confirm, he needs a card. Basically, he needs a credit card or a debit card for the payment.
It's a website that you can search up people to get their information, but you need to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't got no credit card.
Yes. So he's trying to get. Doesn't he try to send a package?
Yeah,
and even they don't take cash either.
Exactly. They try to send a package to New York, but they also require a credit card.
Yeah, and I do hate that.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, he ends up paying off some guy that's in line.
Yeah, he's just like, hey,
send it for him.
He's like, really, cash is king. Seriously, you're not gonna take my money right now, and I agree with that. I hate when I walk into places and don't realize after I order that it's cash only, and they got that fucking ATM that it's not your bank, and so they're gonna get you with they're gonna hit you with them fucking fees, which they do on purpose.
Oh, it'd be like the highest fee too,
bro. It'd be like $4 and shit. Anyways,
I remember using one at a strip club. It was 20.
Are you fucking serious? And it's so funny that you mentioned that, because I remember being at a club and it was like about $10. I was like, yeah, okay.
Right. In the strip club.
Holy shit, that is crazy. I didn't even really realize that. So at this point we are with Stacy, and she is talking to, I'm assuming, her colleague / friend, maybe not working in for the ATF, but she is able to look up people.
Right.
And she looks up Dwight.
Exactly. She digs deep into Dwight's profile.
Mm-hmm.
Committed basically he's found out he committed murder outside of was it?
Yeah, He committed a total of 2 murders. See, man, your
Right.
small ass
Yeah, yeah.
handwriting, bro.
Basically, no, he committed a murder outside of jail and one
Hmm.
inside of jail, but that was declared self-defense.
Yes, and the some agent, one of the what the kids call it these days, alphabet boys.
Right.
They came in, they tried to get him to settle, not really settle, but plea.
Right.
And they said they came in 6 times, and he rejected all
Yeah,
six
he
of
had
them.
his chance to flip, and he was like, "Nah, that." She basically admired his
Yeah, she was like,
integrity.
well, at least that's admirable type of thing. And
And
then
her friend even tells her to be careful.
yeah, and because she's like, so what's going on? And she's like, oh, we now all that stuff. So what happens next?
See, oh, they're at a coffee shop.
Yes. No, are they? Is that what you got next? Maybe I just didn't put that in like my as far as my highlights are concerned.
Yeah, but at a coffee shop, he complains of nothing served in glass anymore,
Yeah.
and it
Okay.
costs
So yeah.
5 times as much
Mm-hmm.
for a damn cup of coffee or some shit, right?
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like that.
that is very. Yep, you're right about that. And I think this is the conversation between him and
It's with
Tyson.
him and Tyson,
Yeah, because Tyson is just interested
right?
at this point, and
Yeah, basically he can't get a credit card with an income, and
mm-hmm,
Tyson tells him get a debit card.
yeah,
You just
and
put your money you cash into the debit card and use that.
mm-hmm, and so don't they go to the bank at this point? Or no, 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 no. Wait, do they go to the bank at this point?
Um, no, basically this is when they're walking around the city and they find that place called the center of the universe.
Oh yeah, okay, see.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. Now I see where I am. See, this is what happens when you try to scan your notes so fucking quickly instead of just taking your time. But yeah, I do like how the machine tells him to stop and then he's like, I've been waiting my whole life. And then he goes over there and like you say, this is the center of the universe scene. We see a pale white horse here, and I will say, I guess that is, I don't know if they say it by the end of the episode, but basically, shit, I thought that shit was in his head. I'm not gonna lie. I
Really?
thought that, yeah, I
Hmm.
really, really thought that horse, just some random fucking horse walking around. I really thought
Hey.
that was, him kind of losing it at this point. But he does get into this area where this homeless lady tells him, which is apparently a real thing in Oklahoma. It's like a Earth anomaly. For whatever reason, when you go into the center of, I heard it's like 8 feet across or around, some shit like that. Anyways, when you go into the middle of it, they claim that when you speak, you can just hear like your echoes, but people outside of it can't hear
Right.
you.
It's pretty tripped out.
Yeah, and she says, "Go and give it a try." And I forgot what he says, but
Does he do anything that time?
I think he does
I
say,
know it end the episode ends
yeah.
with him.
At the end of the episode, he definitely definitely. Oh yeah, he's like, "Oh, there's a horse." That's what he says.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like,
That's
"Oh,
right.
there's
That's
a
right. That's
horse," and then he was like, did you not hear me? And then he steps out and he's like, did you not hear me? She's like, what did I just say? Nobody can hear you. And then, him thinking, well, at least she appears to be homeless. Him thinking like, hey, thank you for your time. Just very mob like. Gives her some cash and
Yeah.
she's like, I don't want your filthy money, and just walks off. I'm like, oh, okay, I would have took that cash, but all right. Now we're in the therapy session.
I go with we cut to basically Vince is pissed that Chicky didn't do anything about Dwight punching him. That when a capo gets struck, a person needs to be killed.
Yeah. Okay.
Chicky ends up calming him down and try to basically find a settlement.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, I really, really did think Cheeky was giving Vince the go ahead because he was kind of pressing him. Don't you guys have rules? I'm a capo. This shouldn't happen. And for all intents and purposes,
Chicky was trying to not let shit happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I do like this actor too. He's a really good actor. Don't know his name, but you're a good actor, Cheeky. And so, Yeah. And so I have the therapy session with Stacy and her therapist, and she basically tells her therapist that, she met a guy, pretty much the same thing that she was telling her friend when they were looking up Dwight, and she admits that that they had sex and he's been in prison. I think that was the most important thing about the therapy session, because at this point they're trying to get a debit card, but unfortunately,
His
Dwight's ID
ID
is
is
expired.
right.
Still
Old
from,
ass fucking
yeah,
ID for 25.
1998,
Right.
basically. So basically, he had the same ideas when he went in. You would
Right.
think the jail would be cool and just update your shit on the way
Nah.
out.
Nah.
Nah, you gotta struggle.
So they go to the Department of Public Services
Mm-hmm.
to renew his shit. And then it's funny during the driver test, he basically cheats off somebody. The dude said like try to look at him. He's
Yeah.
like, give me your shit.
I know he
Like
pulls his whole fucking desk over.
right.
He's
The
like,
fuck you gonna
yeah, I
do?
know. And then he's in line, and then the lady, black woman, she's just like, oh, your next appointment for your driver's test is 4 weeks from now.
Right. Basically, gives her ass some money.
Yeah, couple
Bribes her
$100. What do you know? I have a spot open from a week from now. How did that happen?
and gets a temp ID.
Basically. And so he ends up after that going to see Bodie. At least that's what I have at this
I
moment.
got that he tries to call his daughter.
Is that the first attempt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
believe so.
maybe I just don't
Unless
have
mine
that.
is out of time.
Yeah. Maybe it
You know.
could be. It could be. Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean,
I got his call his daughter who doesn't want to speak to him. Basically, his daughter's Christina.
Oh, I think that's the end.
That's towards the end.
Yeah, because that's what makes him go to the center of the universe. Unless that's what I'm saying. Unless I missed him trying to. He attempted to call her twice. I think. I don't fucking
Let's
know.
keep going. What do you
Yeah. We're drinking. So I have he wants to talk to Bodie's supplier. He just basically wants to get to know Bodie's supplier. And then I have Tyson asking him why did he go to prison, because at this point Tyson is really trying to be like, I really want to be in this thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, that was the ID scene. I'm just scrolling down to make sure I'm on the same track as you, because at this point that's when I have the ID scene. And so I got the account is open, and then he talks to Chicky again, and Chicky lets him
That's
know.
where I am.
Okay, cool. And yeah, Chicky lets him know.
Tells White to make things right. To make things right, basically, he must give $100,000 to Vince.
Mm-hmm.
And Dwight's pretty pissed at first, and resists like a motherfucker.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, that is pretty fair, to be quite honest. I mean, coming from Cheeky, because Cheeky does kind of check him, because Dwight is pissed off about it. And he's just like, damn, what the fuck? And Cheeky is just like, make no mistake, dude. Like, I am the underboss. Like, you need to relax. Like, I'm trying to settle this.
He is a capo. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to settle the best way I could, just, and then Dwight realized whatever, like, it's what
exactly.
he's gotta do, basically.
Yeah.
And then he gets a visit from Stacy.
Mm-hmm, that's what I have next. And she levels with him. She actually, is honest, because he didn't think he was going to see her again.
Yeah. Tells her that basically tells him that she's ATF.
Mm-hmm. And she's just asking him, and now she tries to, kind of semi-interrogate him a little bit. She's just like, why are you here? Where's your real family? Where is your actual family?
Yeah.
And
he brings up Christina, the daughter, and then why'd you stop talking to her? Like, basically, he tried to say he didn't want her to see him in prison.
Yes, and he has not seen her in 18 years. At least that is what I have here. And then that's when I have Sylvester Stallone could have played the old man. And I do have the dad and son scene between Tyson and his father next. which I really, really do appreciate what Tyson's father, he realizes what his son is getting into. I really don't know how, but he is realizing his son is going down a bad path, and he tries to convince his son,
Yeah, I
like,
wanted you to go to college, not work for
yes.
some gangster.
Yeah, and then he kind of bounces back. He's like, "Well, yeah, you worked hard to work for, like maybe he's a plumber or janitor or something, working for the white man,
No,
He
I'm learning the
responds,
business. That's what he's saying. He said,
"Yeah,
I'm learning the business. I know what I'm doing.
mm-hmm." And so, we do have an asshole Manny scene, which really to me really wasn't that important. I mean, it was like the dog shitting scene. I mean, I guess it kind of shows that Manny's a little tense because he thinks Dwight is here to kill him. But other than that, that was my next scene. I just put Manny dog shit scene. It's like, so you're not gonna come and get this? And the guy just goes in the fucking house. That would be an asshole move,
Yeah, right.
though. And I do have what's next? What do you have next? I want to see if we're on the same page. Cause I have the the renegotiation scene where they go see Bodie's guy at this point.
Yeah.
I did not write down all the specifics, but basically Dwight got a really, really good deal
Yeah,
for
basically, yeah.
Boda,
Took us
for
to the
Bodie.
dealer.
And
Basically, when they first get there, they meet the brother,
hmm
dead face.
yeah, I was it's funny because I had that. No, I didn't. I had bad face.
Was
That's
it
what I
dad
wrote.
face?
No, I said bad face.
Bad
That's what I
face.
had.
That's
I
like,
don't know.
well, maybe it is bad face.
So your fucking small hand. How
I'm
can
sorry,
you
it's
read
bad
it?
face.
It is. It is bad
Yeah.
face. Death face is actually pretty cool.
Dead face would have been better.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Have you ever been on a horse?" That's what the guy asked, and he's like, "Have you ever been on life support?" Dwight responds back to him, and then obviously they almost get into it, and then the guy, the actual guy that he is negotiating with, comes out, you
Jimmy.
know, calms it down. While they're negotiating, I will say Dwight is eating. It's like a like I don't want to say like peanut butter, but it almost look like honey that he's just putting on bread
Yeah.
or biscuits or whatever, and he's just eating it, negotiating. And I wish I had the specifics, but I don't. But basically, he could tell that Bodie was getting a bad deal, and from what I can tell about the deal, it was kind of split up in thirds. Like I pay you this expensive amount. This had this 25% or 35%. The second one we pay lower, and then the third round we pay lower, and this is the total what we're getting. The guy
Yeah.
agrees, thinks it's a fair deal, but in the process of him agreeing, he basically tells him that the spread, that's the word I kind of wanted to use. The spread that he's putting on these breads or biscuits is heavily infused with weed. And at first, Sylvester Stallone, the camera kind of close up on his face. He's like, "Really?" And then he looks at Bodie, and Bodie goes, "Where they fucking grow weed, man."
Yeah, what do you
Like,
think, right?
and then Sylvester Stallone comes with a serious face, and he goes, "That's why I feel so fucking fantastic." And then all of a sudden, they just start smoking so much fucking weed from here on out.
Yeah,
the rest of the episode,
yeah,
I thought
after
that
the
shit was
deal, they're
hilarious.
riding back, smoking up, joining the fucking van and shit.
And I will say, I guess I will go quickly to Manny because Manny does discover, he is freaking out. And I don't know, I believe he talks to someone, and that person was just like, "Well, motherfucker, you in Oklahoma. Ain't a lot of hotels here.
Yeah.
So why don't you just call around and see if you can find him before he finds you?" And so that's what Manny does. Basically, just this regular ass person at the counter giving away all the fucking information. And Manny finds out where Dwight is. But
But like you said, this is where he calls the daughter.
yes.
Like you said, it was at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Who basically doesn't want to speak. That I think her husband picks up the phone.
Yes, kids in the
And,
background
right.
screaming. We're not really like laughing,
Yeah,
anyways.
And she refuses to talk to him, and I just want to hear her voice. And
Yeah.
she says like, "There, you hear my voice."
And
he
he's
hangs
like,
the
"Can
phone
we
up.
meet?" Click.
And click.
And then he
So
goes back.
Yeah, he goes to the center of the universe, and basically regrets not seeing Christina.
Yes, at
You
first
know.
he says something along the lines of he thought that he was protecting her, but really he just was afraid to get
Yes.
close to her or
Afraid.
something.
Yeah. Basically, he wanted a different life for her.
Yes. So and that is usually how mob families are. I remember watching The Sopranos and Tony Soprano always said like, I want her to be far, but not too far. Like, I want to be able to see her. So who's the
Shut up.
shout out going to? You
Tell
want?
me.
Okay, so I will take a shout out. This is getting back into it, the Tulsa King, and I was really worried that this was gonna be a little bit too much comedy, but
Nah,
it's
nah, yeah.
balanced,
It's been
man.
very,
Like,
very balanced.
and I'm really, really, really digging it. So I'm gonna take a shout out for us getting back into
Hey, might as well just put Sylvester in it.
it.
For us, it's Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. I wonder if he is really 75. I mean, if he is 75 and doing it still, like he is doing it, like Jesus. I gotta take a beer.
Oh, he's up there, definitely.
Woo! What was that? I wasn't expecting that. What was that?
That was
Was that Captain Morgan?
Captain Morgan White Rum.
Okay, okay. I don't know why I thought it was going to be something completely different and it took me off guard. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks.
And he is 76. This is Ito.
And we are the
The
Carbonation
Carbonation
Conversation reviewing Tulsa King, Episode 2.
The center of the universe.
And if you like what you hear in the background, like the audio editing, music production, don't ever hesitate to check out MoBeats89 and all of his platforms, especially on YouTube and Instagram specifically. And if you ever want to contact him, just add at Gmail at the end of that burp.
Burp, bitch. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't drink and drive.
Drink and vibe.
Peace.